Ladies, let's just talk about it. Aging can be very difficult. I know that we should be grateful for just being here and being relatively healthy, and I am grateful for that. However, being grateful doesn't mean that you can't experience tough times, and it also doesn't mean that when you experience those tough times, you're just supposed to grin and bear it. And I think a lot of us are of that mindset that if we vent or complain, that means that we're not grateful. No, it just means that we're human. And instead of us embracing the human part of us, we fight against it and we try to deal with all the things that we're dealing with the whole aging process. And on top of that, we try to hold ourselves to this unrealistic standard to just be strong and grit our teeth and push through and don't say anything. And I just feel like it's time out for all of that. When you reach a certain age, there are so many different things that we start to deal with that we have never dealt with before. We deal with hormonal changes, which leads us to then deal with fluctuation in our weight. We deal with differences in our skin. We deal with changes with our hair. We deal with issues with our sleep, issues with our digestion. We deal with the things that used to work best for us are now fighting against us. And so that's a lot to try to handle and wrap your brain around. And then on top of it, you're trying to do it gracefully, because that's what people always say, aging gracefully, aging gracefully. Well, I don't really know what that means, because the aging process, there's nothing graceful about it. However, we can do our best to just embrace it, navigate it, and work through it, but not deny it. Aging gracefully doesn't mean that you just have to sit back and let nature take its course. One thing I realize, though, is when you are going through this process, there's some grief that comes along with it. I know for me, I had to, with intention, grieve the younger me. I had to appreciate that time in my life for what it was, but I also had to say goodbye to it because I knew that it would never come again. We only get one life, and we either keep aging and moving forward, or we know what the alternative is, but we can't go back. I found myself so often in this time of my life talking about what I used to do and who I used to be. And it didn't make me feel any better. It actually made me feel worse. Every time I would try some kind of new diet and it didn't work, I would say, well, back in the day, I used to just be able to quit drinking soda for a week and lose 10 pounds. Now I've just been eating celery and drinking pea juice. Pea juice was a bad choice, right? Drinking beet juice. And I gained 10 pounds. And that would make me feel even more discouraged, because in my head, I'm thinking, I'm the same person. So what's going on? Why doesn't that work for me anymore? I would say, oh, I used to be able to function off of just 3 hours of sleep and blah, 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 blah. And I can't do that anymore. And I kept judging myself. But I realized you're comparing yourself to a person who you no longer are. And it is perfectly normal to not be able to do at 54 what you used to be able to do at 24. And so I had to come to that realization, and then I had to show myself some grace. And then I had to grieve that 24-year-old stay, that 34-year-old stay, that 44-year-old stay. And realize that she served her purpose, but this is who I am today. And What made it a little easier for me to do is I also had to then take a tally of everything that I'm capable of now that stay could have never. And realize that even though there's some things that I kind of lost along the way, I've also gained a lot as well. That stay wasn't nearly as wise as this stay, right? That stay wasn't nearly as successful as this stay. That stay wasn't nearly as confident and self-assured and as self-aware as this stay. And so when I balance it all out, I'm like, what would I rather be? Thin or really, really smart? What would I rather be? Super energetic or really, really successful? And so I had to start grieving that stay and at the same time giving this stay a whole lot of credit. And once I did that, then I started to think about what can I do to make this stage in my life the best stage ever. And that's when I started doing the research that I talked to y'all about in the last video. And if you haven't seen the last video, go back to that one and I'll make sure that I link it in the description box below and hopefully get it on the screen as well. But go back to that one because I talk about my weight loss journey and figuring out that the things that I used to do that worked for me actually worked against me now. But I found some really great new tools to do and things are looking up. But my focus has changed when it comes to a lot of that. And so I just wanted to sit down and talk to y'all today because if you're anything like me, when you first started noticing these things, you were ashamed to talk about it with anyone. You felt like you were alone, or you felt like you were going to be judged, or maybe you felt like if you complained too much or vented too much, you were going to look weak or ungrateful. And I'm here to say, talk about it. Other women in your circle are going through the same exact things that you're going through, and they're feeling the same exact way. We should be a support for each other. We should be able to share resources with each other. The only way that we learn is to be able to get information from other people. You might be suffering with hot flashes, and your sister friend may have found a nice little method that's helped her stay cool. You may be suffering with, or she may be suffering with sleep, and you may have found the perfect nighttime routine that is helping you sleep like a baby. And so when we start to talk about these things and when we start to have these conversations and share resources, it helps us to feel supported. It helps us to feel like we're not alone. And it also gives us resources, skills, tools in our arsenal to be able to navigate this time in our lives a little bit better. We don't have to be ashamed, and we also don't have to be strong. There are days when it's okay to just be vulnerable. There are days when it's okay to just feel like, I can't do this by myself. That's what we're here for. We're a tribe. We're a community. And we need each other more now than ever, because a lot of us are empty nesters now. A lot of us maybe be headed towards retirement or already retired. And we may find ourselves alone more than ever because the kids are no longer at home. And maybe a lot of your activities were with the kids and dealing with the parents of the kids' friends, or, whatever the case may be. And now that whole social life is changing. And so we have to find other ways to be able to connect. And so don't feel like you have to go through this alone. And if you don't have anyone close to you, anyone at arm's length, then consider this your community. And I would love for us to drop in the comments And just talk about the different things that you might be struggling with right now as you are navigating this time of life. And if you have any resources, if you have any tips, any tools, put those in the chat as well, or in the comments as well. And let's just talk about it, because we need to be here to support one another. And I know I stayed quiet for way too long, but once I started talking about it, once I started doing my research, I found out that I'm definitely not alone. I'm not the only one who feels like I'm struggling from time to time. And feeling some kind of way about it is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being human. And so hopefully something that I said has made someone feel more supported, has made someone feel more seen. And I just want us to continue to build this tribe together. I have found a couple of tricks of the trade that I would love to share with y'all. And one of them is, I don't know about y'all, but for me, getting dressed has been a huge struggle for me. I go to get dressed, I get in the shower feels great, and then all of a sudden, 5 minutes in, my body starts to overheat. So I finish my shower, I get out of my shower, and I'm sweating, and I'm trying to dry off, and just as quick as I can dry off, I'm sweating again. I push through, I go to put on my makeup, I can't put on my makeup because it's sliding off my face. So I started doing some research, started looking at some ways to be able to navigate that part of my day without it being a complete disaster, because there were times when I had to just be like, you know what, I'm not going out today. I can't deal with it. Like, it was that bad. So what I found that works for me is I love a hot shower. So when I first get in the shower, I have it on hot. And once I start to feel my body overheating, I slowly but surely turn the temperature down. And I always end my shower with about 15 seconds of just cold water on my body, and I make sure I splash some on my face. And I've also had my husband install a ceiling fan in my bathroom. So after the cold water, I get out of the shower and that ceiling fan is going and that air is circulating, and it has made a huge difference. No longer do I have to dread what is very simple and a common everyday thing, getting dressed. And then the other thing that I do is, once I go into my dressing room and I'm ready to put on my makeup, I have that ceiling fan going, and I have my little portable fan right there on the vanity, blowing directly into my face. But it keeps me cool, it keeps my face dry, and it makes it so that I can have a pleasant, normal experience getting dressed. So that's my little tip for y'all. If anybody else has any tips, whether it's about hot flashes, sleeping through the night, aches and pains, whatever it is, drop them in the chat and let's talk to each other. Now, keep in mind, I am not a medical professional. I don't know who out there is a medical professional or whether they are or not, but this is just advice. These are things that work for us. But if it's anything as far as supplements or procedures, hormone replacement therapy, anything like that, of course you need to talk to your physician and make sure that it's something that's good for you. But I would just like us to get a conversation started, because I don't think it's something that we talk about nearly enough. So I love and appreciate each and every one of you to bits and pieces. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to spend this time with me. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and becoming a permanent part of this Lifer Tribe. And for my returning Lifer Tribe members, hey y'all, thank you so much for being here. And until next time, y'all know the drill. Always be kind and love one another, but don't forget to live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.